Hello, everyone. Welcome to this course on leading positive change through appreciative inquiry. My name is Ron Fry. I'm a professor of organizational behavior at the Weatherhead School of Management at Case Western Reserve University. In this course, you're going to learn about a very new and innovative approach to leading and facilitating change in all kinds of human systems: dyads, teams, work units, whole organizations, communities, supply chains, networks of organizations. And I believe that you'll find it also very useful just in your personal life. It's become almost cliche today to say that change is a constant. Our organizations are always changing, always trying to improve, always trying to get better. It seems that like every day there's a new change initiative. And for some people, this is an opportunity. It's something that does excite them. They do see it as an opportunity to learn or to develop new skills or to advance their scope of responsibility. But more often than not, I'm afraid that people react with some of the things you see on this slide. There's a sense of fatigue with the word change, or a resistance to hearing about a new change initiative. The tendency is to want to just do my job, to be left alone. So what we're going to look at in this course is this approach we call appreciative inquiry, which is really meant to help people engage with change in a much more positive, enthusiastic, energetic way. So what is appreciative inquiry? Let me give you just the basic definition, which we'll then blow up and look at in all kinds of detail and parts as we go through the course. First and foremost, it begins with a collaborative and rigorous search to identify and understand an individual or a group or a system's strengths. So it begins with a search for strengths. And we do this in order to then set up for people to imagine their highest hopes and possibilities. So between 1 and 2 here in this definition is the unique part of appreciative inquiry. You want to change the future. You want people to imagine and then agree on future images and possibilities they want to pursue. But the first thing you do to prepare for that is to actually go back and reconnect people or help people discover their strengths. What is it that's already helping them to be at their best? So we do the rigorous search for strengths. That prepares people to imagine new possibilities for the future. And we do that in such a way that they then are motivated to co-design how we're going to get to those future images. And then lastly, because they co-created it, they are motivated to actually become the implementers. They own the changes that they've designed, and they want to implement action plans and designs to realize the future that they want. Appreciative inquiry has several key characteristics as a method or as a tool for leaders. The first one, and perhaps the most important one, is that it's strength-based. It's intentionally trying to help provide change or improvement by leveraging strengths, leveraging what the team or the department or the work unit or the organization already has the capacity to do, leveraging that to do more into the future. It's collaborative in nature. Some people refer to it as a relational practice. It's very interactive. It depends on creating a work space, an interactive space where there's true collaboration. Search for common ground, search for common overlapping ideas that builds a collaborative spirit between different stakeholders. It's inclusive. One of the things that we work hard to do in appreciative inquiry is to bring all the relevant stakeholders together around some topic. So, for example, instead of doing perhaps more traditional team building where you just take a group defined by the organization chart with a leader and various members of the project team or the staff, In appreciative inquiry, we ask ourselves, well, based on the topic that you're trying to improve, who are all the voices that have some vested interest in that topic? So what would more likely happen with a typical team is you would have some of the external voices, some of the external stakeholders who that team serves, be it in the organization or external to the organization, also involved. And the other part of this inclusiveness is the idea we'll talk about shortly, which is getting the whole system involved all at once. It sounds like, trying to manage a chaotic or a mob scene. But what we have found with this approach is it's eminently scalable. You can do it with 10 people, you can do it with 100 people, you can do it with 1,000 people. It has this ability to include more and more relevant voices to the issue at hand. Appreciative inquiry is an artful search for what gives life to any situation. What do I mean by that? It's an inquiry. That's why inquiry is in the title. It's a search for what gives life. What's helping us provide the best service to our customers when we're able to do it? What's helping us to process an invoice through the system at record speeds when we're able to do that? So we search for what is it, what are the success factors, what are the underlying causes for us being at our best around some issue that we still know we want to do better, we want to change it, we want to improve it, but we start again with this search for what is it that gives life. And lastly, appreciative inquiry has a quality of generativity. What do we mean by that? It's not just coming up with new ideas for change or new images of the future. It's having people come together and create those new ideas or discover those shared images, but do it in a way that leaves them wanting to work together on those ideas. There's a forward-moving energy, a generative, intrinsic drive to want to work on the ideas that they actually came up with. So in that sense, it's different from perhaps a brainstorming session that any of you might do with your staff or your team, where a lot of good ideas get generated, but then they're left with you. Nothing's going to happen until you delegate somebody or until you call another meeting. What we see in appreciative inquiry is the possibility that we can engage people in coming up with new, innovative solutions. We can engage them in such a way that they actually have the energy to want to keep going. In many cases, we say, at that point, the leader has to sort of get out of the way and let people just keep going with the generative energy that's been created.